Hi there, welcome back. All right, let's talk some consumer news this morning. So I know we've talked about this here, but it seems like nothing is safe from supply chain issues, right? The bad news is that Christmas trees are the latest victim. So if you haven't gotten your tree yet, we are going to find out what our supply chain issues mean for you this morning. To break it down, we are lucky to be joined by Washington Post business reporter Laura Reiley. Laura, good morning.
Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. So talk about this. I mean, what is going on with this issue when it comes to our Christmas trees?
Well, obviously there are two categories. There's the live tree world and there's the artificial tree world, and both are suffering from supply chain issues for different reasons. So on the artificial side, which shockingly accounts for about 80% of American households who have trees, those mostly come from China. About 80% of them come from China, and all of them are stuck on ships, as so many of our goods are, so many toys and automotive parts, et cetera, right now. So there are probably lots of trees in line in those port cities in California and Louisiana, waiting to get in, waiting to get unloaded, and then get on trucks and then get to their final destination. So we have a shortfall there. A significant shortfall that will probably mean a 10 to 30% increase in the price of artificial trees this year.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously, the artificial trees, that is a problem. But then, I mean, you have tree farms right in our area of the Pacific Northwest. What are we talking about there?
So, real trees, about 25% of the country's trees are from the Pacific Northwest. And as you know, I'm sure all too well, there was that horrible heat dome this summer.
Yeah.
So heat and protracted drought. And shockingly, it didn't really affect a lot of the mature trees. It did impact the seedlings. So the very young trees suffered, a lot of them died. So those they'll get replanted. So there is some damage there. And the noble firs, which is kind of one of the classic species, they had a lot of burn damage. So this year in the Pacific Northwest, the Douglas firs, the other species, came through that heat dome just fine, but about 20% of the noble firs were significantly impacted.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a shortfall there. And then in other parts of the country also, so North Carolina, Virginia, other parts of the country where there are a lot of those tree farms, they too suffered from drought and heat at different points. And so we do have a shortfall of maybe 5 to 10% on the live tree side.
Now, Laura, I have to ask you, I mean, what do we know? I know you've looked a lot into this supply chain issue, but we keep hearing about all of these ships just sitting off the coast and the supply chain. But do we have a timeline for any of this stuff? Are we going to end up getting our Christmas trees in, I don't know, April?
Unfortunately, I think a lot of Christmas goodies, of one sort or another, aren't going to arrive on terra firma until January or later.
Wow.
So we are going to have some unfortunate winners and losers this holiday season in terms of retailers. So my advice is to get your tree early, because I think a lot of the retailers, especially on the artificial side, once they sell out, they don't have a way to restock.
Yeah.
And then also be flexible in terms of what you're going for. If you have your heart set on a noble fir, maybe think about doing something that's a little bit more, idiosyncratic this year. Do something that maybe is a little, not your norm, just so that we all have that. We get what we want, and we're not too kind of, saddened by the details.
Exactly. I think it was the Rolling Stones that said, you can't always get what you want, but you get what you
Absolutely.
need. Laura, thank you. I appreciate it. We love having you here. Thank you.